Officer, again, going back to your first arrival on the scene, you were the first officer and you had this discussion with Ms. Stanley? Yes. Do you recall, sir, that she ever gave you the details as to how many rings and bracelets were stolen from her? She gave me a brief description. And you indicated that, did you not? Yes. Do you have any recollection of how many rings she told you went stolen from her? If I could look back into my records. The court, oh yes, you may refresh your recollection. You can't read from it, but you may refresh your recollection. She told me there were 3 rings. Does that refresh your recollection, sir? Yes. Was she specific enough to tell you that a brown leather jacket was stolen? The court, is that so? Yes. And she gave you the amount of that, did she not? Yes. Did she indicate that a blue leather sample garment was taken from her with a value of $1,500? Not that I recall. But she did tell you that there were other clothes that were not inventoried? Yes. She did tell you that there were other clothes that were taken? Yes. But she was specific as to the amount of money that the mink coat was worth, was she not? It was approximate. It was an appropriate amount. And she gave you the amount of the brown leather jacket, is that correct? Yes. She gave you the amount of rings that were taken from her, is that not correct, sir? Yes, sir. She gave you the number of bracelets that were taken from her? Yes. And that concluded what she said was taken from her. Is that correct, sir? At that time, yes. She alleges also that you gave a description. Is that right? Yes. Do you know or do you need to refresh your recollection, sir, as to what the description was that was given to you? Can I interest or refresh my recollection? The court, yes, but you can't read from it, officer, only if it refreshes your recollection. Are you refreshed now, sir? Yes. Could you indicate now just what the description was? One description was describing a male, approximately 5'8" tall, approximately 180 pounds, which with hazel eyes, brown hair, short tail hair, and facial hair. What was the other description, if any? The other description was describing a male, approximately 5'8" tall, and that's the only description I have on that. There was a description of his clothing, was there? Excuse me. You had a description of the clothing that this perpetrator, this hold-up artist, had on at the time of the robbery. Defense counsel, objection to form, the court sustained. Could you reach, with your recollection now refreshed, the court and jury? It was a short black leather jacket, sneakers, and he was wearing a pants with stripes on them. The stripe is indicated, isn't it? Yes, a red stripe. Officer, do you resemble or recollect this conversation? How long it lasted with Mrs. Stanley? Approximately a minute or 2. Was that in the beginning? It was when I first arrived. Approximately 5 months afterwards, she was handcuffed, would you say? Defendant's counsel, objection, Your Honor. The court, I'll allow it. Sometime during that time, as to how much activity was there inside the store, I couldn't say. There was a lot of activity at the time. What type of activity was going on? After she was refreshed and you found it insufficient? Yes. from the loan from the time that the money was taken.